Hello everyone. In today's video I'd like to go ahead and talk about alternative living and how it's impacted my disorders. And maybe it can help out a few other people as well. Um, I think the best way to start this is to say, or rather ask, what is probably the most upsetting um, circumstance, I'll call it, that happens to us during the course of our lives? It can almost always be traced back to or whittled down to, you feel as though you have lost or wasted time and energy. Because there are a lot of things you can make up for over time. But in general, we kind of accept that as we get older, we are losing time and we are losing energy. So when we put a lot of time and energy into anything, whether it be career or friendship or property or anything, and it ends up falling apart or being destroyed or whatever, in a way in which we feel as though our investment has turned on us. That's probably the worst feeling most of us can identify with. So when I look at alternative living, I see it as a way of escaping some of that and trying to make more constructive use of my time and energy. One of the ways that I do that is I live in my van. I've been living out of my van since December 14th, 2019. And I feel I can safely say at this point, I have no intention of ever going back. $900 a month is what I was paying for my apartment and utilities and internet and all that stuff. On top of all the other bills that I had. And I was hardly ever there because I was working 3 jobs in order to be able to pay for it all. Since then, I quit 2 of those 3 jobs. The third, I dropped down to 20 hours. And was able to just spend a lot of time just chilling out, relaxing, recovering, whatnot. That was pretty good. Now I'm working 40 hours a week again, different job, that I like a lot more. And I feel as though the money that I would have spent towards rent has gone towards securing my future in a way in which I don't worry what would happen if I left a shitty job and went on to another one that didn't pay as well or didn't offer as many hours, or if I didn't even have anything lined up particularly. It allows me that flexibility that otherwise my life wouldn't have. And the space. When I had an apartment, it was a 2-story, upstairs, downstairs, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, lots of storage space, and et cetera, et cetera. Like I said, we're talking about wasting time and energy. I was paying for all this, but I really wasn't using it. I slept on the floor because it helped my back a lot more. Um, Food went bad faster than I could use it because two of those jobs were retail jobs, and you just never knew when you were going to get called. So you didn't want to start anything because you might have gotten called, and when you get called, you need to make that money, and it I wasn't using it for that. I like to read instead of doing a lot of electronics and that kind of thing, so I wasn't using it for that. No pets, children, significant other of any kind. So, when I had an opportunity to go visit a friend in Colorado, I decided to go ahead and spend it in my van instead of paying $200 a night for a motel. That is crazy, ridiculous pricing considering the fact that you can spend less than that amount that you would have spent in a week to buy an apartment there for a month. It's just ridiculous. So, I tried it out and I really liked it, and I decided that at the end of that year, that's what I would do. That year, I also took up dating for the first time. I'd been holding out until I felt like I was on top of my situation well enough that I wouldn't be bringing in a ton of baggage to my relationships. And I went through that whole year trying my best to make something happen. And by the end of the year, nothing, I mean, really nothing happened. And I determined that to try to pursue that dream of being a good husband, good father, I'd held on to for the last 30 years, it was just, it was hurting me more than it was helping me. And so I went ahead and gave up on that. Decided I would stop dating. That's when I started thinking about how to try to treat an abandonment disorder alone versus using other people. And with that also came that question of purpose. I've been looking forward to make the contribution of a happy, healthy, safe family my primary focus for so many years, and now that wasn't there. And so I had to re-examine that, and I kind of came to a unusual conclusion, same as with my disorder, choosing to embrace it rather than try to fight it. Because of the way people were treating me, I realized that I could throw those people away. I realized that I could throw that purpose away. We tend to get fed that we need a purpose because it makes us healthier, because it makes us wealthier, because it allows us to live longer, because it makes us happier. And what I've kind of concluded is that we stress so much over having a purpose, it ends up costing us more than what we get out of that purpose a lot of the time. Especially when that purpose that we've invested so much in turns out that it has fallen beyond our ability to personally bring to fruition. You need other people to fulfill a dream, and sometimes you don't get those other people that you need, and it just doesn't come true. And sometimes the things that you thought were worth investing in before, you realize maybe not so much. Been working really hard to try to find that purpose, and I've realized, maybe it's not such a bad thing that we live a life without purpose. That maybe just enjoying the moment that you're in is enough, or not. Maybe I wouldn't use the word enough, but that it can actually allow us to live happier lives by not trying to hold on to the distant future so tightly, and instead just use what you have to live the way that you want to live with the time that you have. And when you can embrace that, it allows you to live life the way that you want to live it and not the way that you think that it ought to be lived. And I found that to be extremely valuable. Anyway, see you guys next time.